So I really want to do this video. Last night I don't know if I'm going to be able to speak through it. I'm going to try it because I want to get this out. I had a telepathic communication, I mean full-blown conversation with my twin. There's so much that I want to say on this video. It's so overwhelming and so like emotional that when I come to say it, it like gets stuck. It's true. It's undeniably true. We are completely connected and intertwined. It is a bond that is unbreakable. The bond with your twin flame is completely unbreakable. It's like you're two, but you're connected and you can intertwine, you can enter and go into each other's energies and communicate. And what I realized is that we were always connected. This is now consciously, I know that we are connected because we had a full conversation. A full conversation. I mean, it's not like with words, it's like with energy. You can go in and tickle and touch all the different little parts and it's like energy going into energy. It's such a good feeling. But what I do understand is on this twin path, on this twin journey, whatever you want to call it, this twin reunion, the song keeps on coming to my head. Nowhere to run to, baby. Nowhere to hide. It's like it's there. And this other person has, first of all, he simply is. It simply is a part of my life. That's it. It's simply, he is. And anything other than that is just denial. We're so closely intertwined and so connected that that you have to be on the path. Otherwise, it's just denying yourself and you're denying this other person. And it is the most beautiful connection. The thing is that in order to connect, it's like an allowance. It's like you have to allow them to come in, and they'll come in anyway, but you won't even know that what you're going through is a telepathic like connection. You just feel like, oh, this or this or this. You think it's you, but it's not. It's your other being. And there's also a kind of allowance that you can actually close off your energy and not allow them in. And then it's painful for the other half because they are like shunned. And then the ego comes in and gets upset or whatever. But it's mostly in the doing. It's in the subconscious, because up until yesterday, when I had this experience, and this experience was undeniable, and I recorded it because I could feel myself going into this other realm, and I knew that something was coming. I had already had a smaller episode of it, like episode, I'm calling it episode, but it is an episode, but not in a bad way. I was hiking and I was drawing, and I also have that film, and I had, because I've been doing these drawings that are fast forward, and then at the end I just had this overwhelming like feeling of love, and I felt him, and it just blew me away. And then I went on a rant. So I have that recorded, and I'll see about putting that up. But what happened last night, and I have that recorded, I have to watch it. It's an hour or something, and it was an out-of-body experience. We were completely connected, and it's the most wonderful, beautiful connection. But I can see how the connection, both people have to be true, because it's not only the connection that has the most beauty in it and potential for the most beautiful companionship, because there's nothing to hide. That person has like, I don't want to say power, like in a way of controlling you, but the person does have power in your life because you're so intertwined. If one of you is going through something, the other one is feeling it. So, and if you're allowing this energy to come in, then you're both going to be going like this, and then you're both going to start, that back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So in order for the reunion to be like beautiful and clean energy, you both have to be pure and clean. The experience was like no experience. It was like nothing I've ever felt before. It started with, the first was I felt I was connecting to God, like I was being saved. I mean, and I was being healed and purified, and it went through my body and the different like portals. And it like cleansed me. I felt like I was being cleansed, and then we connected. And I feel like that he has been, I've said it before in other videos too, that I feel like he has been on this journey much longer than I have. He has known of my existence much longer, I think also in the 3D, but also in the higher realms, I'm sure of it, because he has been guiding me also in the physical world, like telling me things that have been leading me up to this point. So he has also told me, in the physical world, that there is a place where you can connect and feel each other. And it was like nothing else. I could feel him like coming in, and we were having a whole conversation. I could feel him coming in and just like wrapping around my heart, and just unbelievable. It's not like speaking in words. It's like speaking in emotion or in energy. And I mean, it was a full-blown conversation with like jokes and everything. He was telling me jokes. He was tickling me. He was bringing like funky things into the conversation. And it was totally undeniable because it was totally his energy. I could feel him all up in that. It was all him. The bird outside started laughing with me. I recorded it because I knew that something was coming. You know how you have this feeling, you know when something big is coming, And I started slipping in, and I've been doing these videos and I realized that doing these videos is like my God's work. As I say, I have other God's work too. And then I'll show you the pictures that I drew afterwards. But we had a full-blown conversation. I was recording, and it was over an hour. And I had like in the back of my mind this, because you go into this other world when you go into these places. It's like you're going into a different world, but you still have like this string attached to this physical world of like something still connected. So I guess that's so you don't leave your body completely. But I had like in the back of my mind, I knew that I was recording, and I wanted it because a lot of times I go into these other worlds and I get it. I get what the lesson. But when you're going through it, it's like a process. And it was like this cleansing, awakening process that I was going through. It was like this, I felt like I was being saved. And then we connected. I felt like first I connected with God. And I was saying what I was feeling as we were going, and purposefully and not purposefully. I don't even know to say if it was purposely or not purposely, but I'm glad that I did, because I can rewatch that and connect back to every moment that was there. And I don't even know what it looks like physically. Probably looked funky, because it was an out-of-body experience. It was something else. And I could feel like all of my portals or chakras or whatever you want to call them, just I could feel here. I could feel everything. I could feel that I was letting go. I was letting go of fear. I was letting go. It's the most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful reunion. And I see that in order to connect like that with your twin flame, in order to allow it, first of all, you have to be in your true nature. You have to be in the now. You can't be you can't be like this. Otherwise, you can't feel the connection, because it's an allowance. You have to allow that person. It's like a seeping in, like that you allow them to seep in. But it's not, but I could see it energetically that we were connected at all levels. We are completely connected. There is no afrada. We're completely connected and intertwined. And we להשפיע on each other. להשפיע is like we oh, thank you for this coffee. Thank you for the coffee. We have like not control, but it is control, but not in a negative way, not like a controlling way, but it just by being, we I can't even think of להשפיע, there's a word. It's like we have say in this person's life, whether knowingly or unknowingly, whether consciously or unconsciously. And I can see the reason why it keeps on clashing, and why one keeps running, and why we keep running away from each other. It's because this other person is able to come all the way inside of you. There's nothing you can hide. And if they are not completely clean, they can come in. It's being vulnerable, to be next to this person. You are at the most vulnerable that you can, at your most vulnerable, because this person can see you completely and has power over you. And power, I don't mean in like in a bad way. I mean in just their being there. They have power in you. They have the capability of coming all the way inside of you and understanding you like nobody else in the world. And you have the same. When we first started going into this telepathic experience, and a few days ago, he was talking to me about how you can feel each other, but he wasn't talking specifically about me. He was talking about how when somebody thinks about you, you can feel them. So he was planting the seed. And I'm trying to articulate, because in order to have this telepathic connection, you have to be open to it, and you have to kind of invite it in. And then once you do, and you are consciously aware of it, it's like you can find it. Because I realized when we went in that it was always there. He was always there. He was always there from when I was a little girl. I can remember. But it's like that voice in your head that you think is you, and you don't know, you can't put your finger on it. And it's almost like you're not really even aware that it's there in your conscious mind. And you can't bring it out into the surface. But once you're aware of it, then it's like a portal. It's all of a sudden you have the door. All of a sudden you know exactly what it feels like, and oh, that's what it is. So that's that telepathic. And the thing is that you have to be open to you have to be listening. So your twin can be knocking on the door, and if you're going like this, you won't hear it. You won't hear the knocking, or you'll ignore it, or you can just shut them out completely, and that's painful. That's like being weaned of the most wonderful thing, the potential of the most wonderful gift that you're given, is this complete companionship that is like no other. Has the potential to be the purest of pure. Anything under that is nothing in comparison. Not even a soulmate. It's nothing in comparison, because here it's like you are combined with your own self, and that's why it's also so painful and clashing if you're not being pure, because to completely be able to combine, you have to clean yourself out. Otherwise you're clashing and hurting each other in the places that you're holding separate. I recorded the whole process yesterday, and this is crazy good, because not only do I know it is real, this connection is undeniably real. I feel so blessed. I just feel so blessed. I feel like it's everything that I've ever wanted, and that I felt that was out there. And I'm so trusting now. I'm so trusting, because I can see that I'm always being guided. So I was being guided to that. I could see it so clearly that I was being divinely guided, because there's so many things that are divine that have brought me to this point, that there's no other explanation. It's just divine guidance, and I feel like my twin has guided me, but he's also being divided divinely. And I feel like he's done his life. In his life, he has done the work, and he's so strong and capable. I just feel so blessed, so overwhelmingly blessed, because I know that this twin flame process takes two. It takes two. It takes two. And it's so painful that the two parties have to be strong and willing to go through the jungle of their own being, really, to solve themselves and bring themselves back down to the base. I feel like it's like a vibration, like we are vibrating the exact same essence. Him and I are the exact same essence, like we came into this world through the same portal. I drew it yesterday, but it just looks like a ball sack. I can show you, but it looks like a ball sack. Look, this is also something that I drew that is connected to the twin flame. Yeah, it's like two spirals and a meeting point. But wait, I want to see if I can find the ball sack. Here, see, it's like, it just looks like a ball sack, right? But it's like two beings coming from the same portal. It's really like twins. It really is. But twins that are like spitting mirror images, which I can see also in the 3D. It's like our talents complement each other completely. It's our talents are like intertwined. There we have the same gifts to bring, but we bring them differently, and they enhance each other. They like, my gifts bring light to his gifts, and his gifts bring light to my gifts. It's like funky. It's really funky. It's like we're each powerful beings, but together our powers are like not double, but like immense. This is also that one I drew, and this is something that I drew when I was sitting on the mountain yesterday. I'm going to complete it. I've been scanning all my art into the, but that's what I was drawing when I had that big epiphany on the side of the mountain, and it turned into like a rant. I think I'll put that up there too, but I want to show you after our connection yesterday, and that was just. What I was saying is that I want to complete that because I jumped from one thing to another. I don't want to forget. What I was saying is that in order to have that connection, connect with your twin, you have to bring your vibration down to where it's clean, to where it's just you, vibrating you, without all the interferences from the outside, which is by way of fear. And that's another thing, that when I was going through this thing last night, I felt like I was being saved. And that's, you know, when you hear saved, you think Christianity, but it didn't feel like that. I felt like I was being woken up, like really being saved. And I guess being saved in Christianity comes from somewhere, but I felt like my soul was being saved. Like I'm one of the lucky ones. I woke up, and then it's like being pulled up to this higher plane. That's why this twin journey is about self-healing. It's about working on yourself first, and then your twin can come in. And I really mean it. Like, your twin can come into you. We were having a full-blown conversation. Him where he is, and me where I am. It was a full-blown conversation. He was tickling me. He was telling me jokes. And I was getting the jokes. And at first I thought, oh wow, he can talk to me. He can come into me and talk to me. And then all of a sudden I realized, wait a minute, this is a two-way street. I can go into him too. And so, but it's like one of those things that you have to have practice in. So I did a little bit, but I could tell that first of all, when you do enter into the other person, you have to do it with such care, because it's like you're going into like their sacred place, their sacred, their sacred being, where it's a private place. Going into somebody's soul is like going into their temple, their inner temple. And just him allowing me to enter and because there's an allowance there, he has to allow me in. just like I have to allow him in. I mean, you'll slip in and out anyway, because you're always jabbing up until you do the work and you become complete. You're jabbing at each other, and not purposefully. You don't. Yeah, I didn't even know that I was connected like that with him. I feel so blessed. I just feel so blessed. And I know that I don't. So what I was saying is that you have to bring your vibration down to your flat normalization. Like, you have to just be. And in order to just be, you have to be in the moment. You have to be able to quiet your mind enough to be completely 100% present in the moment in order to connect like that. And it's so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. It's like magnificent, out of this world, nothing you've ever experienced. And unless you've experienced it. And if you have a twin flame and you're listening to this, do the work. It's so worth it. It's like having the biggest gift you could ever, the potential. Now, all you have to do is work for it. All you have to do is do a little bit of self-work to get to it. It's like, don't run away. Do the work. Do the work. It's so worth it. And you're the lucky ones to have the potential to have that kind of connection in this human form. It's a powerful, powerful, powerful connection. It's like nothing. It's over anything else. It's your partner. It's your partner for this experience, this life. It's above all else. It's your partner. It's unconditional, complete unconditional love. Like, hurting him is hurting me. Hurting me is hurting him. If I'm not loving myself unconditionally, I'm hurting him, because we're the same. And by running away from him because I'm hurting, is hurting him, but it's hurting me. And the love that I feel for him, I'm willing to do anything, any self-work, any self-sacrifice, not to hurt. Yeah, I say not to hurt him, but also not to hurt me, because it's the same thing. And through my love for him, I find my love for me. And through my love for me, I find my love for him. It's so overwhelming. But this communication thing, this telepathic, I've always felt like I've had this telepathic connection, but I've never been able to, like, and also, I grew up in a home where, oh, that's all crazy, funky stuff. I'm gonna pause this because I have to go get toilet paper. I grew up in a home where, we were very strong, loving family. I mean, not strong in the way of, like, family connection was very strong. And everything was very practical. Everything is very in the 3D physical world. You have to work hard, and everything's hard and difficult, and everything. It's like I don't know how to explain it. Like, there's spirit in the religion in the family always, but all of the things that are connected to, like, mystical, it was like totally completely shunned. And it, like, talking about spiritual things was going into la la land. So that's what my family is. Oh, you're going into la la land again. Oh, I don't believe in all that. You need to be practical. You need to come down here and you need to work hard. And so I grew up kind of in this, like, shunning la la land atmosphere. No, I don't believe in all those things, like telepathic communication, but I've always been drawn to it my whole life. And I've done a seance when I was young, when I was in the army. at night we went through this time that we were doing seances, and I remember that there was something there that was like surreal, because this cup that we had was moving and it was telling us things. We had somebody sitting on the side writing down what it was saying, and it was speaking to us in different languages, and it was crazy. And I remember having a knowing that it's real. And anytime I would try to talk about it at home or with other people, they would say, oh yeah, it's there's nothing to it. It's somebody was pushing it, or it was always that kind of. It was undeniable, and I'm glad that I recorded it, so I have the option to share it or not. I don't know what it looks like. This was just last night. I don't know what it looks like. I was recording it while I was sitting right here, and I remember like saying what I was feeling, what I was going through. But anyway, I want to show you the drawings that I did afterwards, and then I want to I want to meditate. I've been doing my God's work as soon as I get up in the morning. I feel like it just naturally comes out of me. So this is one of the drawings I did last night after the whole thing. And this is the other, and this is like, I feel like the twin flame connection is in the middle. It's the two halves coming together with, I don't know what that is. This is air. This is fire. I'm gonna draw it. I'm gonna paint it in the computer. So what I felt like first is that there is a pyramid coming down from heaven, and then there's a pyramid going up from the earth, and this is water. So this is the pyramid going up, but then I realized that it's 4 pyramids because it's all of the elements. So it's the water, fire, air, and earth. And actually you're seeing it backwards because this is filming backwards. You're also seeing me backwards. But that is something that just came through after that connection yesterday, and I'm going to paint it up. I'm going to see if it needs any more shading or anything. I'm going to paint it up and put it online. This telepathic communication, this is real. This twin flame path, if you're on it, I know there's foggy places where you don't know where to turn, what do I do? And I found that whenever I got to a place of fog, where you get into like this little loop that you keep going around in the same place, I just surrendered and said, give me guidance. So I'm letting it go, and it's like it washes through your body. It's like it's like this depressurizing feeling. So I'm letting it go, and I'm asking for guidance. And that was another thing, that I woke up this morning and I have no idea where to go from here, but I just trust. So I have a phone call. It's a practical, so I'm going to end this here. Thank you for watching. Lots and lots of love.